Playful, happy and joyous, innocent as they look, no one knows what their future will be. According to UNICEF, more than half of Ugandans, over 15.5 million, are under the age of 15, and the disparities across wealth quantiles in Uganda suggest that even as the nation moves forward, the most disadvantaged and marginalized children are being left behind, especially in terms of health and child protection. Children in rural areas are increasingly becoming vulnerable to loss of their own homes. UNICEF reports more than half of Uganda's children live in vulnerable situations and are prone to human rights abuses. Some children leave their homes because of torment caused by conflict in the house.
Conflict can be broken in so many things. One of them is the domestic conflict. When parents or people within the families are fighting one another, children are not safe because very often you forget about providing for their rights. But even the mere fact that you're fighting and you are not talking to one another, you are actually abusing them emotionally. You can imagine the kind of things that they think and the kind of fears that they have. But are you going to break up? Is one going to kill another? Something like that. Domestic conflict causes a lot of problems. Children are sometimes beaten. Children are sometimes tortured in their mind just because of the way you people are behaving within the family. But there is also conflict, armed conflict, as a result of one's own. Very often children are forgotten. And in terms of serving them and providing services for them, especially even if they are in the refugee status, even if they are in displacement, sometimes they are forgotten. They only consider them last. But in our ministry, in all our work that we do, we say children should be first in everything. There is a problem, children should be considered first and provide for them.
However, people are now taking advantage of the dire situation to trade in children. The business doesn't do well with the local foster parents who are not supposed to pay, but foreigners are parting with a lot of money for these children.
We all know that adoption is one of the alternatives that we can use to provide a family for children, especially if they don't have parents. But we also know that you have to go through a process. There's a continuum of care that you have to look at. We have the family. If you can take it back to the family, better, the nuclear family. But if you can have it, the extended family, the better, because those people have got commitment and relationships with this child. But if it fails there, then you look for another person within the community where the child grows, where the child, culture and all the other things can be given to him. You identify that person and support them. We start with fostering, and after quite a number of time, when the probation officer studied you and everybody is aware and happy that you can be a capable parent, then they encourage you to apply for adoption. And adoption here in Uganda, adoption is not expensive for Ugandans. They can actually go and apply through a probation officer. They go to chief magistrate officer. And because of the report that is given by the probation officer and the other things considered in the Children's Act, they'll give you the child and it becomes yours.
But the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is against Uganda's first option for providing alternative homes for the disadvantaged children, which is sending them abroad or giving them up for inter-country adoption.
The only thing they think about is that children should be taken out of the country. They should be provided for inter-country adoption. And we think that is wrong. If they were following the procedure of the Children's Act, that would be okay, because they will have studied the parents that want to take them outside for 3 years, and then we are sure that actually they are going to look after the child. These days, however, lawyers and everybody, because it's a quicker way of getting a child here, they use legal guardianship. And legal guardianship has a problem because it is not provided for, the procedures are not provided for. It is used by the High Court to provide for guardianship for children that have nobody to look after them.
However, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is determined to tighten the rules and procedures of adoption.
By putting changes within the Children's Act Chapter 50, we have an amendment bill. We are including aspects, we are sort of toughening on the procedures for adoption, that they should follow the continuum I've said. All those alternatives should be exhausted first. But if a child has got to be provided for inter-country adoption, then this child must go through some procedures. This, as they are specified in the Children's Act Chapter 59, but they must be cleared by an adoption agency to be established by the amendment in the Act. When they have looked at, assessed all the other alternatives, and then the child can